gaze, overwhelmed, trapped in a maze. Small business owner, stress had me in a daze. Every problem piled up, couldn't catch a break. Thought I couldn't make it, my dreams were at stake. But then I found a group that changed my whole perspective. Our success group of a community so effective. We all chasing that dream, sharing struggles and fears. They understood my journey, wiped away my tears. Together we broke through, we rise above. No more feeling separate, fueled by love. Our small business is shining, reaching new heights. With the support of our success group, we're taking flight. The power is strong, the vision's so clear. Building our dreams with no more fear. Together we're resilient, unstoppable force. With our success group.
Let's talk some business.
All right. Welcome in, Small Business Rock Stars. Welcome into Small Business Saturdays. My name is Aaron Montgomery, and this is my amazing wife, Kylene. How are you doing, Kylene?
I'm doing great today. How are you doing?
Doing great. We're getting a little head bopping in. We're getting ourselves moving here a little bit. So
I'm glad you embraced the head bop.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
That's awesome. Yes. Well, welcome everyone. I'm excited. Well, we're excited to have you join us today. We want to hear from you. So drop us a comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from and what your business is all about.
Indeed. And good morning, Karen. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure that if you are tuning in from the YouTube channel, heck, even on Facebook, right? Make sure you hit that like button, share this with your fellow entrepreneurs, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can do that over at Live OSG, and just really want you guys to be able to tune in with us. We're excited. This is our well, I guess officially the fourth episode of the reboot here, but we kind of did an intro, and then we've had 3 episodes, so this will be the 3rd episode in our little series that we're doing here on the fundamentals and just kind of talking about business ownership here. So again, make sure you get over to Live OSG and like and subscribe over there.
Yes. And then if you're watching live, or even if you catch us on a replay, let's start off with a business tip. So if you have any to share with us, please share.
Yep, definitely share away. But yeah, we wanted to kind of give those folks who said, hey, I'm going to show up on time, and or if you're willing to go back and watch the replay here, just hit something real quick. And in a way, today, Kylene, I wanted to dive right in with a nugget that honestly, if you get nothing else out of today, just do this and you will see results, right? So this is actually going to fit in with the rest of our conversation here today. But here you go. Here's that nugget. Set small, achievable goals to build confidence, right? So today's conversation is about self-trust. And one of the quickest and easiest ways to do that is just set small, achievable goals. Now, if that's too much, if it's goals is a word that kind of holds you back, you don't even have to look at them as goals. Just think about one thing you can do right now and accomplish it, right? To be able to say, check, done, and celebrate that accomplishment, and then do something else as soon as possible. Because what's happening is you are building momentum. You are giving yourself that self-confidence by celebrating, hey, I got that done. Good job. Okay, what's next, right? And then we get that rhythm going, and we really start turning up the volume. So quick tip right out of the bat, do something as soon as possible, celebrate it, keep moving on. That's going to build self-confidence, build that self-belief quickly.
Yeah, I love that. It's like the people that write their to-do list and then they just check it off because it makes you feel good. It gives you that momentum, like you're saying. But really, the only way to gain self-confidence is by surviving a risk. And so if we got to take the actions, survive those risks, build that confidence within ourselves, and then we can get to whatever it is we want to achieve that much faster. So we just have to survive those little risks, and a little risk might be just doing something that's slightly outside your comfort zone even.
Yep, for sure. Yeah. And Kylene, the other, part about all this is, you says encourage transformation through positive energy, right? That celebration, that's building that positive energy. So the best cure for anything that's ailing you when it comes to your business and moving forward and taking steps is always going to be action, right? Like if people come to me and they're like, I'm really stuck, Aaron, the suggestion is going to be some sort of an action. Okay, do this, right? And it might be, hey, maybe you're just trying to take too big of an action and that's what's got you stuck. So let's break it down. What's the thing you can do right now, right? So anyhow, I think that that's a great way to start this off. Mo says, good morning, love the energy. Mo, we love having you here, and thanks for saying that. Karen shares, yay, Northwest Horse Source online magazine and website, tuning in from Colorado. Advice, OSG is amazing and worth the time to watch. So thank you, Karen. Appreciate that.
Sweet.
All right. Well, Kylene, you ready to dive into this a little bit deeper?
Yeah, because I think it is so important to help us move forward and accomplish whatever it is we want to accomplish with our business and our life, any goals that we have. That self-confidence is huge. And, some days it's really hard to move forward, right? Because you see this big mountain, like you were saying, maybe that goal you want to achieve is huge, but breaking it down is really the first step to moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's dive into it then. So, with Small Business Saturdays, we always try to kind of break it up into 3 parts, and which covers kind of the 3 pillars that our success group is all about. So we've got mindset, making sure that we're mentally in the right space to be taking on these actions, the fundamentals, the foundation, how we what's the planning phase, we're kind of getting ready to get into action, and then the wellness phase too, which is as we're in action, how are we taking care of ourselves, what's the benefits, wellness as a holistic approach, right? And so wellness can come from a lot of different areas. But Kylene, talk a little bit about that wellness thing, and then we'll get into what we're talking about here today.
Yeah, I mean, wellness is really looking at your entire life, like Aaron said, holistic, and making sure that we're in synergy and harmony. We're not like all neglecting one part of our life. It all has to kind of work together. And so we're building that harmony and understanding within us and putting things in place so we can thrive instead of just surviving. And so that's really important.
Yep. All right. Well, let's dive into the mindset first. And one other thing just to note for people that are, new to Small Business Saturdays here, we take those 3 pillars and we look at each segment that we're trying to kind of share with folks. And we go, okay, what makes the most sense? Because they don't always follow this clean, straight path. And, but today I think we're going to go mindset, then we're going to go fundamentals, and then we'll close out with some wellness side of this whole concept of self-belief here. So, with the mindset, the first thing I want to tackle here is we have this idea, right? This thing has been pushed out there into the world and become kind of common, oh, got to fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it, right? And we go, and okay, I'm going to just fake it. I'm just going to go out and, even though I don't believe in myself, I'm going to just fake it. And someday it'll catch up with me and whatnot. But what we've discovered is that idea actually plays against what the reality of the situation is, right? And so we actually really need to flip that script from fake it till you make it into believe it until you achieve it, right? So some days it's hard to believe that we are the experts in what we're doing, right? We've made a mistake. We've got different challenges that are showing up. We have uncertainties and just the daily hurdles that are always thrown at us. And so instead of quote unquote, I'm using air quotes if you're listening to an audio version of this, faking it, right? If you change your focus from, I just got to do it, I'm just going to fake it. It's not really me, but I'm just going to fake it. If you change your focus to believing it until you achieve it, right? That mindset shift helps you build self-trust because it's going to nurture your skills. It's going to say, hey, I'm not faking it, right? I'm believing it, right? Maybe it's not actually happening for me right now, but I'm just going to act as if. I'm going to act from that space of I'm believe that I am capable of overcoming this challenge, delivering my message, asking for the order, whatever it is that you've got in front of you, right? So you start nurturing that mindset, and when you start acting from that place, you're no longer faking it. you're actually doing it, because here's the reality, Kaylee. Nobody's faking anything when it comes to being a business owner.
So true.
You're doing it every single day, right? Some days look better than other days. And so that's where we go, oh, I'm just faking it. No, you know what you're doing. You have a belief, you have a vision, you have a passion that you're trying to get out there to the world. And so you're really doing it. And so once you start taking consistent actions from that acting as if, believing it until you achieve it, right? So think of nature, all right? A seed needs nurturing to grow into a tree. Right? We don't just jam it into the ground and go, well, I hope that thing can figure out how it's going to become an oak tree. You know, you've got to put it in there. You've got to give it some water. Hopefully it's got some nutrients in the soil right there. And it doesn't just happen like that, right? That seed stays underground. Nothing's happening going, well, that thing's just not going to work. It doesn't have any ability. And then all of a sudden, little thing pops up. It starts growing, right? But it took that nurturing. It took that giving it the water, right? Because if you don't believe it's going to turn into a tree, are you going to waste time watering it and feeding it and all that other stuff? Absolutely not. So our success requires us to plant that seed, right? Take the action and then nurture that action through persistence, right? I'm going to keep sharing that message. Okay, maybe it didn't land this time, but the next time I'm going to be a little bit better at it. The next time I'm going to be a little bit better at it. I'm going to listen to the feedback. And that's the next part of nurturing, is we do have to accept the feedback, right? We might not like it. Oh, there's 2 people on Small Business Saturdays today. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we probably didn't share it enough. Okay. Or, whatever the case may be, that there's feedback in there somewhere. And so we can't go, oh man, I should have done this. I should have done that. We have to go, okay, I'll accept that feedback. I'll take on that challenge and I'm going to step it up the next time. Right. And, and that all happens once we start believing in ourselves and saying, hey, we're doing something worthwhile here. Let's keep this going. Right. So, then we just have to say, hey, okay, ask for that favor, ask for people around you to start helping nurturing that tree and stuff like that. So, Kylene, what's your take on this whole concept of mindset here?
Yeah, I think faking it is giving yourself an out in a way. When you say fake it, you're never truly 100% invested in it, right? Yeah. You already gave yourself an out that this isn't your path. So when you change that mindset and truly believing it and seeing yourself doing it, acting as if, that gives your subconscious that courage to keep acting on the things that are presented to you in your life to get you closer to achieving whatever action it is that you're trying to do. But faking it immediately gives you that negative feeling inside, and it just, you're not going to put your whole self in it, right? Because you don't believe that it's possible for you. Yeah. And exactly. I think that's a really important way of looking at faking it.
Yeah. Well, and I like that you shared that, in a way it's giving ourselves an out, right? Because then if it doesn't work, right, and the situation looks grim and, well, I was just faking it anyways. I didn't know what I was doing, right? And so then I can just give up and walk away and go, well, I was just faking it. And again, the reality is, as a business owner, you're not faking it. There is no such thing. It's not possible to fake it, right? You have to actually take the action. And the only way to take the action is you have to know what you're doing, right? And it doesn't mean you have to know everything that you need to do, but you have to be willing to do the thing and then learn from that thing, right? But if you sit there constantly just talking about it, just thinking, but that's the faking it, right? You've got to, sorry, this is going to hurt a little bit, folks, if you're listening in, but you got to get off your booty and actually take the action. So, Kylene, anything else there?
I think just knowing like the direction that you're heading, like kind of going back to that foundation of why you're doing this, why did you start that business anyway? So if you're just faking it, why are you wasting your time if that's the case? Now, there may be times in your life where you're not quite sure about that next step, but whatever you choose to do, then you probably want to show up your best version of yourself as much as possible in that moment. do the best that you can so it feels more genuine inside. So you're not creating that conflict that happens when we're not genuine with ourselves.
Yeah.
And you're not being genuine when you say I'm faking it, because then you don't believe it inside, and it's just, it creates the negative feelings, and we're trying to reach for those positive, hopeful feelings.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, I guess the other thing here, I want to stay on mindset one more second, right? Because when we talk about faking it till you make it, the other side of this is, right, what if you are so stuck? What if you're in like complete terror of taking the next step, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if it just feels hopeless? What would you say to somebody that's in that spot?
Well, the wellness side would come back and take that deep breath, right? Reset for a moment, and then think about, what is that easiest next step that you could do? Even if you're like completely clueless, the next step would be sharing that you're stuck, right? It could be as simple as that, to share with someone. They might not even know anything in your industry or whatever you're trying to do, but you're starting that dialogue with yourself and letting yourself be a little bit vulnerable. And then that's when the growth can happen.
Yeah.
Once you let your guard down.
For sure. Well, I think that, yeah, that's and I think that's what holds people back a little bit too. It is so simple, right? We try to make it so complicated, but it really is that simple of me going, okay, I'm stuck. Hello, anyone? Can you help me? Right?
Yeah.
There's going to be people ready and willing to show up when you say, hey, can you help me? Right? Mm-hmm. We're sitting right here waiting for you guys to reach out to us, right? I mean, in a way. So, if it doesn't work out exactly the way, like, just, that's it. Just gotta say, hey, I need a little bit of help, right? Mm-hmm. And then, because at the end of the day, the world, God, universe, whatever it is that works for you, is conspiring for you. Mm-hmm. They want you to live a success-filled, happy, fulfilled life, right? Fulfilling your purpose. And therefore, right, you just have to get out of the way. And a lot of times we're in the way because we're just sitting there going, oh, I'm just faking it, or I don't believe in myself. How could I do this? Yeah. You absolutely can do this. So,
yeah, right. The Tony Robbins quote of, where focus goes, energy flows. If you keep focusing on that, you can't do this, you can't take that next step, you're just faking it. Whatever you're looking for and thinking about, that's where your energy is going. That's what you're putting out into the world. So you're going to get that right back to you. So it really is, the key is to believe it is possible for yourself.
Yep. Karen says getting outside perspective is so important. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Success is a team sport. All right. Well, let's take a quick break here, and then we'll come back and hit the other two parts of this. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Kylene.
And I'm Aaron from our Success Group.
We understand that feeling of knowing something is holding you back.
Are you watching others succeed and wondering what they have that you don't? There's a secret locked away inside of each of us, yet we never think about fixing it because it has to be something external from ourselves. It is the limiting belief that everyone wants to just push aside and try to hustle and grind harder to get there. But the truth is, those limiting beliefs are keeping you from asking for help, from taking the next step, or doing the action needed to move your business forward.
The sooner you can identify what's holding you back, the sooner you will start achieving your goals. We make sure to provide a safe environment, free of judgment and full of support as you go through this process. We hope you make this investment in yourself and unlock your potential so you can find more meaning and success in your life.
All right. Well, I wanted to share that for a couple of reasons. Obviously, I believe this really plays into what we're talking about here today. When we start rewriting those stories, we start gaining more confidence and self-belief. Secondly, the introductory price that we've had it at for a couple months, because we've been busy, and we just said, you know what, let's leave it at that. Give everybody an opportunity to get. I mean, this is a tool that once you have it, right? And you can go back to it anytime you want. In fact, we're going to share a little bit out of this tool here in just one second, just so you kind of see. But the part before what we're going to share is actually where the real magic is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gotten such good feedback on it from folks. And so anyhow, introductory price is over the end of this month. So sometime next week, I think, what's that, Wednesday or something like that?
Yeah.
The 31st, something around there. And so you're going to save. So it's normally $79. Right now it's at $47. So this is your last opportunity. So if you haven't taken this opportunity to invest in this, we're just giving you fair warning here. So anything else about the Breaking Barriers program, Kylene?
I mean, I just feel like everyone deserves to unlock their potential. I mean, it truly, we all have limiting beliefs. So the more awareness and learning and growth we can put into it, I mean, it just allows us to be that much more successful in our life moving forward.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, Karen says, great program. Karen is a owner of said program. So thank you for that confirmation that we are getting really good feedback on just the way that it can help people. To be honest with you, Kylene, I actually went through it myself on Friday. I was feeling a little stuck and I just went through it, and super helpful. I may go through it again today, actually. So
did anything new come up?
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah. All right. So let's get into. Oops, I got to take that down. But again, I guess we didn't say where, but you go to osg.link/unlock if you want to take advantage of that introductory price. All right. So let's keep going on this concept of self-belief. And so in the fundamental part, in the foundation part, it's kind of like, okay, how can we build this self-belief? And one way that we use, and that has been really powerful for us, and honestly, you know, this has come from our Success Principles training, is crafting an affirmation. Now, before I get into talking about crafting an affirmation, Kylene, I actually heard somebody one time kind of go, and it's somebody that we have listened to, and I really enjoy what he says. T. Harv Eckert was talking about how, you know, affirmations might not be a good thing, right? Like we're faking it, right? But here's what I learned, because I was like, okay, well, that interesting. I need to go dig into that a little bit more, and so I went and dug in. But here's what I discovered is the stories that we're telling ourselves is really us kind of faking it a little bit, right? We're saying we're not worthy, we're not good enough, et cetera, et cetera. And that all built over time, right? Now that just becomes our reality. And therefore, when we create and use affirmations, so maybe affirmations is what the hang up was, right? So you can look at this however you want to look at this, but just look at it as like an intention or creating a new reality, right? Because when we start believing it first, and so we have to create affirmations that we can say and have this belief. And because the words, here's the part that I didn't understand for a long time, Kylene, and maybe you did, and you just were keeping it from me, or I'd never asked, probably the second, but is the words don't really matter. I mean, they do because of the feelings that they create, but it really is the feeling that you have, which is important. And so therefore, crafting an affirmation in a specific way, then the words do matter, as long as you can associate that with the right feelings that go along with it. So again, if you're sitting there reading an affirmation, listening to your affirmations, and not also visualizing yourself being there and getting into the feelings that come along and associate with it, and you're just like, yeah, whatever. Well, guess what? You're going to fall in that boat of, oh, affirmations don't work. Exactly. You didn't allow them to. So anything else on that?
Well, I mean, that just comes back to, in a way, faking it, right? You already made your choice of it's not going to work for you. So you really have to, it's not just reading them. It's actually, like you said, believing them. And by telling yourself these affirmations, you're building that inside of you. So those thoughts are more natural.
Exactly. All right. Well, so the foundation here, the fundamental is we want to create an affirmation that is a powerful way to build self-trust. So we always want to start, and you go back to the previous 2 episodes, there's your start there. But core beliefs, what your passion is, and then, what's the goal, right? What are you ultimately trying to accomplish? And so we want to write affirmations that are positive, present tense. We'll get through all the specifics here in just one second. But here would be an example of one, just to kind of get this for people to kind of grab onto here. I am confident. I'm sorry. I am a confident and capable business owner. There you go. Brief. I am a confident, but if I go, I am, not really. Yeah, I kind of am. I guess that's not going to work. I am a confident, right? I got to go back and read it here. I lost my spot. I am a confident and capable business owner. I am a confident and capable business owner.
Yeah.
Because I am a confident and capable business owner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's hear it, Kylene. You show us how it's done.
I am a confident and capable business owner. The key words there really is I am. It really is the powerful word there.
Yeah.
Or words, I should say.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to put a graphic up on screen. So this is actually a slide from one of the sections of Unlocking Your Potential, where we go into a bit more depth here. But you can kind of see, and we'll just hit these highlights real quick, Kylene, and stop me if there's something that you want to touch on a little bit deeper. But I'm just going to give you these 8 steps here. So starting with the words I am, we want to state it in a present tense as if it's right. So it's not I'm becoming, I will be a confident and capable business owner. I am a confident, like present tense. State it in the positive, right? I'm getting rid of my fear. No, you're right. We don't want to get those negative things in there, because again, the words themselves don't matter. It's the feeling. So when the word fear shows up, that's all your feelings and your inside hears. They don't hear all the other stuff around it. So state in the positive, be brief. That's a hard one for me, but be brief. Make it specific. Include an action word, an ing type word, right? And so our example didn't necessarily have that. So we might, I am confident and capable, or how could I change that? I am confidently living as a capable business owner, or something. I work on that a little bit more, but we can work with anybody has something, by the way. If you're tuned in live right now, or you catch the replay, put some stuff in, just try this out, write an affirmation for yourself. And we're happy to give you feedback on that if you'd like, and see if we can kind of tune it up a little bit for you. Okay. Number 7, include a dynamic feeling word. And number 8, make affirmations for your own behavior, not others. Right. So I wouldn't want to, try to make my affirmation. I am excited that Kylene is doing this, right? At work, I can't affirm for her. She's going to have to believe that herself. So now I might say I am expressing my feelings to Kylene more clearly. Right? That could be an affirmation where, again, how we're partnering up and something like that. So, all right, anything on those before I take down that slide?
No, I think that was perfect. I think Karen has a example for you.
Okay. Well, let's take that down out of the way, and we'll pop back in there. Okay. I am consistently bringing in money for my business.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep. Okay. The only thing that I might change, if you're looking for feedback here, Karen, I agree with Kylene. This is perfect, and no reason to necessarily change this. But if you wanted to pump it up just a little bit more, get a little bit more of a feeling word, right? Constantly bringing,
confidently.
Yeah, I am confidently bringing.
Thankful to be bringing.
Yeah, something that just is a little bit more attached to feelings, because just bringing, I don't know, to me, and again, this could be different for you. So this is just my personal opinion. For me, bringing in money doesn't excite me. right? Like, okay, that's great. Yes, I'm not saying I don't want to bring in money, but I want something that excites me, right? I am confidently bringing in money. What's something that lifts me up a little bit more? It's all about the shoulders here, Kylene, right? Like, so down like this versus up like that. That is what we're trying to get to. That's the feelings that we want from this. So good one, Karen. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
and if
thank you
anybody
for
else
sharing.
has them, yep. Okay. I am so happy and grateful that I am constantly bringing in money to help others with their businesses.
Ooh. That's powerful. Yeah.
Little fans out here. Yay.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell you this, Kylene, but the other day in one of our mastermind programs that I facilitate, young lady in the program had pom-poms and somebody had something to celebrate, and she just happened to have them. Her daughter's in dance, and she just happened to grab them. We're like, okay, bring the pom-poms. Like, we need that.
I mean, how can you not smile when you see pom-poms shaking?
That's right.
That's awesome.
Yep. All right. So there's the foundation. There's the fundamental. Build some affirmations for yourself and just repeat those. One thing to do with affirmations is try to repeat them, read them. One thing I love to do is just record them and listen to them, right? But if you can do it right when you first wake up, in the middle of the day as kind of a reminder, kind of get you back on track, and then right before you go to bed, and let your self-conscious just chew on that, right? And so it's been really helpful for me. What about you, Kylene?
Yeah, I mean, not only does it just reminds you of what you're focusing on. You know, life can just keep coming at us, and if we're not intentional about where our thoughts are going and setting us up for success through the day, affirmations are so powerful, getting us back to what we want, not what we don't want. So,
for sure.
Yeah, it's really huge.
All right. Well, okay. I've been doing most of the talking here, Kylene. So I'm going to lean in over to you, hand off the baton, so to speak, and you can kind of lead us through the wellness aspect of this.
Yeah. So affirmations truly do play a huge part in the wellness side to all of this and our overall well-being, physically, emotionally, mentally, because what it does is it builds that belief in ourselves, more positive feelings, those good feelings that we want to have. And what that does is it begins to reduce stress in our life. It also increases our motivation. So we are a little bit more excited to take that next step, right? When things are, your next step may be a little bit outside of your comfort zone. It's a little bit easier to get there when you're believing that inside of you and you're creating that harmony between your mind and your body. So you have a little bit more control of those feelings that you're having because, go ahead. I can tell you something.
Yeah, I was just gonna hit the stress part too. I'm glad that you brought that up, that it reduces stress, because stress comes from lack, not believing it's possible. Like, even if you've got this huge challenge to overcome, if you believe that it's possible, we don't need to turn on the stress home run for that, right? We're in flow, right? We're actually calm, clear, moving forward. And again, so stress and stress is probably one of the biggest causes of a lot of our physical challenges that we face in today's modern world, right? And so if we can reduce stress just by believing in ourselves a little bit more, why would we not want to do that? And so I think you're spot on that this idea of affirming, believing in ourselves more will reduce stress. And like you said, kind of then drive that motivation. So
I mean, just building from what you just said, you know, when you're in more of that positive state of mind, you're going to be attracting more of that back to you. And the whole law of attraction really does come into play here because, you know, stress is a form of feedback. And so
good point.
When that's showing up, then obviously there's something that needs to be reevaluated. And maybe these affirmations can help you in that area, whatever it might be for you, especially in our business when there's so many different hats that you have to wear sometimes. And we're not 100% confident in that, but it is part of being a business owner, this can help us do some of those hard tasks.
Yeah.
I'm really believing it's possible.
Definitely. All right. Well, then talk to us about more, so you kind of talked on the benefits,
Yeah.
and I know I kind of gave some feedback already on how often we should do it at the minimum, but just kind of help us get a little more nuts and bolts into how do we implement this idea of affirmations?
Yeah. So it really should be, I shouldn't say should, having it part of your, I encourage you to have it be part of your daily routine, because then it becomes a habit, right? And then we just naturally do that without having to think about it too much. We just know, okay, the first thing I do, if I grab my cup of coffee, when I have my cup of coffee, I'm reading my affirmations. Maybe that's
habit stack. That's like,
yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's what it's called.
Yeah. So some people I love that. Grab your cup of coffee, read your affirmations, listen to them, whatever. Some people will put their affirmations on their mirror. So brushing your teeth, reading your affirmations, just habit stack. I love that. Good idea. What else you got for us?
Yeah. I would encourage you really to do it before you start your work day. I do think it puts us in the right state of mind to respond to life and the events that are happening when we're in that belief state that we can do hard things. We can do whatever it is that's important to us. But really what it's doing is we're building that confidence within ourselves, and we're more in line with our goals. We're going to be more resilient when things don't maybe go our way. Guess what? We get to choose and try something different next time, but we know it's possible because we built this self-trust within ourselves, and we're focused, and we can continue to move forward. So, affirmations are a really positive, powerful tool that we can incorporate in our life, especially looking at our overall wellness, because like we talked about before with stress, that just really filters into all the areas of our life. And if we can have a way to kind of reduce that a little bit with something that this does not cost us any money, right?
Yep.
Affirmations are something we can choose to do. And so it is really powerful.
Yep. All right, Kylene, I want to hear from those that are tuned in live right now. Right. I want you to share a takeaway or an action that you plan to implement from today's discussion that give the rest of our listeners and viewers a chance to learn from you too, and just kind of understand that building self-trust is a journey. And while you guys are doing that, I want to give two other implementation kind of ideas here. I mentioned earlier that sometimes I like to record my affirmations, right? So, and maybe you don't want to hear yourself talking, and that's totally fine. I'm going to give you two tools here. Let me actually take this one off. I'll give that one a second. And I have to go get it now that I'm thinking about it after the fact. Sorry about that. So there is a place where you can go. In fact, Kylene, the thing I sent you this morning, I actually used this tool to make that recording. So it's this company called textmagic.com, and they actually do stuff with text messages, and but they have these free tools, and they're just kind of random. And one of these random free tools is you can take text and have it converted to speech, and then you can download that as an MP3 that you can play. And there's all these different voices and tones, and you can set the speed, and all free. So if you go over to freetools.textmagic.com/text to speech, you could take your affirmations, pop them in there, and then have them recorded. Now,
that's awesome.
I learned something the other day, and I'll put, actually, let me do this. Sorry, I know that talking and typing doesn't always work out so well. Oops, and I didn't even do it right, but we'll get the idea here. So I learned something the other day. I was in a quick meeting with the team of speakers that's going to be doing this entrepreneur thing next week, or I think it's on the 5th of August, so in 2 weeks from now. And if you go to osg.link/nerd, you can actually sign up for this. But they were talking about the fact that Well, you guys heard the song we did at the beginning, right? It was our success group, right? I did not go pay somebody to create this song. And much as I'd love to do that, that's not in the budget right now to get a good song done. So I actually used this tool called Suno, SUNO.com, to create that song. I'm going, okay, that's pretty cool. But I couldn't really think of a practical use until I learned from one of the other speakers that's going to be at the entrepreneur nerd deal there. They said, think about the earworms, right? Kylene was complaining to me the other day, not complaining, but I don't know. Was it complaint? What were you doing about? You're like,
I was just telling you, I had our success group song stuck in my head all day.
Yeah. Well, make your affirmations a song that's going to be stuck in your head all day, and then see what that does for you. So there you go.
That's cool.
Couple kind of freebie quick tips at the end here for everybody that, again, if you watch to the end, then you got something useful out of it. I would encourage you guys, if you did get something useful out of today, please go share this on your social media. Please go get other folks to join us because as Karen said earlier, I'll go back to it here if I can find it. Getting outside perspective is so important. And you can't get outside perspective if we don't bring more people to the table and have more people engaged in the conversation. So we need your help, everyone out there. Let's get some more listeners for Small Business Saturdays. We're going to try to keep this pretty consistent at noon on Saturdays. I know we're just getting back, but and I know Saturdays can kind of be tough in the middle of the day. Just take a moment, right? We're trying to keep it in that 45 minutes range. If something's really good, we may go a little longer, but hopefully this has been worth people's time. So anything else, Kylene, before we close out?
Just remember to be gentle with yourself as you go through this and start creating these habits. As you implement affirmations in your life, just trust that you can do it. You know, there's no harm that can come from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And that's why we work so well together, right? Because I'm going to tell you the hard things, and kind of the rough things, and then Kylene's going to remind you to be gentle. So it yin and yang there. All right. Yeah. Because I always forget that part, right? All right. Well,
that's why you get things done, though.
That's right. We got to have that balance, right? This is the other thing that Kylene and I are learning every single day is it does boil down to the balance, right? Kylene kind of can sometimes be a little bit too gentle, needs to push a little bit harder, right? I can be a little bit too harsh and need to be a little bit more gentle. When we find that, and again, that's why we work so well together is we are able to balance each other out. So thank you, Karen. She says, you guys are a great team.
Thank you.
All right. Well, rock stars, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. As we wrap up, we would love to hear from you. Again, what's the main thing you plan to implement or what was your biggest takeaway from today's show? Share it in the comments. Karen said earlier, I will start with affirmations in the AM and at the end of the day. I've recorded my affirmations so I can do them while I'm doing chores. Perfect. Yep.
Ooh, good job, Karen.
Yep, definitely. So again, anybody else that's tuned in, maybe you're watching the replay, share it in the comments. The more we engage, the more we give, the more we get.
Yep. And then just remember, implementing even a small change. One small change can make a huge difference in the long run. So again, if you enjoyed today's episode, please hit the like button and share with other entrepreneurs.
Yep. And we do really appreciate your time. We do have a free gift for you. In fact, free gift works really well with what we're talking about. So if you'll head over to oursuccessgroup.com/SBS for Small Business Saturdays, you can get a free white paper that Kylene put together that will help you identify maybe some of the anchors that are holding you back. Again, hugely helpful in this topic. So make sure that you get over there and grab this tool if you've not done so already.
Yep. And we're here every Saturday, like Aaron said, at noon. We really, truly want to support you in thriving in your business and your life. And we appreciate all of you and your support and joining us. And we just want to keep this going.
Yep, for sure. So tune in next week. We'll be back at noon next week, noon Central Time. And we will be talking about conquering fear and just some tools and techniques that we've learned and used to get beyond fear, right? So taking action, sometimes that fear is what's holding us back. And so that's what we're going to talk about next week, Kylene. A rising tide does lift all boats. So make sure you're a part of the conversation, not just a lurker. Engage in the comments. Engage in the comments over at our Facebook group as well. If you're not already a member of our Facebook group, go to osg.link/group and just keep this conversation going. You can comment on the share in there. You can comment, just start a new thread. There's no wrong way to do it, folks. So just be part of the conversation. All right?
Yeah.
Highly to do that.
Yeah. And we truly believe in you. Stay positive. Find something in your life to be grateful for, and you will get there. You are going to achieve your dreams. So we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Dark days, overwhelmed, trapped in a maze. Small business owner, stress had me in a daze. Every problem piled up, couldn't catch a break. Thought I couldn't make it, my dreams were at stake. But then I found a group that changed my whole perspective. A success group of a community so effective. We all chasing that dream, sharing struggles and fears. They understood my journey, wiped away my tears. Together we grow.